Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US Indices for Thursday, the 24th of June. So being Thursday in our bullish weekly cycle, we normally have Thursday being the bear day, which kind of works in quite well with the wave count because we're looking for a little pullback, because this little move up here for the Russell, and most of the other markets are the same as well. This little move up here is an impulse wave, so it's 5 waves. So we'd be looking for a corrective move back before another move up. So let's go in and check on that. So on the one other point here too is that a few days ago we were looking at this as a possible, this wave 5 here being a top in play here for this. A little bit small, I know, but out of a triangle pattern, we normally you'd get the distance of one of these legs here would be the distance of the 5th wave here. So that was quite sort of acceptable. So we do need to keep a bit of an eye on that. This stochastics here has moved up reasonably quick, a bit too quick for my liking. But yeah, the next real step is really just to gain support on top of 2,300. The 300 here, of course, is the top of group 1 of 2,000. So 1, 2, 3, they're minor levels. So gaining support here, a tested support here, will set the tone for the next target at the next level. So the 500 here, the Fibonacci sequence of numbers is 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. The 2,500 is a medium level, so it carries a bit of weight. But in this case, it won't carry a lot of weight because we've had this large accumulation process, under the level here. So the distribution process will, take us equally as high. So from this top here to here, and even to this point here, this distance across here should be squaring time and price, should give us the distance to the upside. But yeah, gaining support. See, it's never really had support, nearly had it here. So let's see if we get it over here this time. So we'll just check on the daily chart, the intraday chart, 1 hour chart that we're working with yesterday. So in a bit of a nutshell, we're looking at an impulse wave to the upside. I think we're around here somewhere, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then the 5th wave here. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we are sitting above the level here. From the top here, if that's finished here, it looks pretty good at being finished as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So technically we should get an ABC pullback into the box here, but it doesn't really have to pull back that far. It may just pull back to the 2280 area through here. The other point here too, we're working with 2,300, which is a minor level, and then the next degree of structure to the downside below this would be the sub level. So we've got 10, 20 and 30 here, and then we would have 50 after that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 8 after that, 2380. So if we get support on, we're looking for support on 2300, that's what we're really looking for. But on more of a subtle note, getting support on the 2,330, this top of subgroup 1, then we know that if we get tested support here, then we know that we're leaving this number at that point. So, but it looks quite good actually. So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1, and ABC back for wave 2, and then moving higher at this point. So yeah, the trick is, I guess, here. We haven't had a correction yet here, but we do have good support in this area. So it'd be nice to see it drop below this, below the 2,300, and then regain support on that. That's what you're sort of looking for. But we should be able to pick this up tomorrow. So Thursday being the bear day, and then Friday and Monday being the bullish days. So Thursday can just be bearish sort of into the morning session and through lunch and into the afternoon session, and then tightening up at that point and reversing. So yeah, just keep an eye on that. It's quite helpful. Alrighty, so what's next? The S&P 500. So once again as well, we were looking at, well, we were looking for a wave 5 top in here, but we've changed it because of a few things. But we're looking at, well, put that in there, that's wave 1 there, and wave 2 tucked in there. And then we're starting the third wave up. So we're looking for 5 waves in this impulse wave for wave 3. So let's go in and check on that a little bit further. So 4-hour chart should be a good start. Let me just squash this in a little bit. So yeah, so from this wave 4 here, that we're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for 1, and back for 2 here in this case, and then from wave 2 we're looking for wave 3 to the upside. Wave 3 is normally the longest and the strongest, so we'll just check on that as we go. But yeah, yesterday we talked about this being an impulse wave. I think we're about here somewhere, so we're looking for the 5th wave to make the 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we don't need that. Yeah, so we're just, it looks like we're coming off here nicely. So as I mentioned last time, we're looking for a little A wave here, a B wave here where we can go long, and a C wave pulling down here. So yeah, I mean, once this develops a little bit, you may be able to get a better position by, you know, taking the top here. Yeah, I mean, we talked about taking the B wave here. Based on this, you could just buy the pullback in wave C here. Because we've got an impulse wave here, that will assure us that after correction we're going to get another move up. So you could buy back in this box here. You could also, from the top of the market to the B wave here, you could draw a line through that way and get another position here and here. So getting 3 positions in early in the trend is really what you're looking for, because this trend here we should see this be quite powerful here, because we're in the third of the third wave here, and then we'll also be in we'll be in the third of the third of the third of the third in a minute when we have a look at the 1 hour chart. So on the 1 hour chart here, we've got wave 2 here, wave 2 here, and wave 2 here. So this wave 2 here, this is where we should see the power in the structure. And of course, we're going from green wave 2 to green wave 3 here, so we'll be looking at a 5-wave structure within all of that as well. So something of that nature. So we've got wave 1 here and wave 2 here, wave 1 here, and it looks like it's starting here, doesn't it? How far it will come down, I don't know. I mean, I've got it's pulled back to 61.8% here. It may do the same here. It may just come back down to the 4th wave here. So when it does drop, or if it drops, or hopefully drops, when it comes down here, then you can pretty much use the tops here. So right now I'm just using this top. I'm just using this top here, which was from yesterday. I think I put that there, just happened to be there. So yeah, I mean, that could even be the little A wave here. That could be the little B wave in here, and the C wave coming down in 5 waves to here or something like that, and then going off like that. So yeah, I just don't want this here to be an illusion here and you're thinking it's coming down here and it gets away on you. So it's important to buy new highs. And yeah, I mean, we can even drop this down now to this top here. You could probably even drop it down to this one. I'll just check on the tick chart here as well. Okay, so here's our little structure for this. So we've got our wave 2 here. we counted up as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 yesterday. I think we were around here somewhere. Don't remember that well. So yeah, it kind of looks like we're in play there for this. I mean, I can see parts of it. Obviously, we got this move down here. This move here is in 3 waves. It's correct. This one here is in 5 waves, even though it's a little bit dodgy. We've got overlap here, but it's there. This one here is in 3 waves. So we're kind of on the right track here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down and put that long trade on top of this point here. For that, this is a correction across the midpoint, of course. The 4 and 2 is not that important, but the 50 is the important one here. And out of that, the 5 is the second strongest number. So we can always expect that there. So yeah, look, how far it will come down, I'm not sure. But, you know, technically, does it go this way? Wrong way, sorry. I normally just eyeball these things. So, yeah, well, that's the 61.8% here. So look, it's just a good starting point. Sometimes it comes right down and hits the 61.8%. So sometimes it's a little haunting, but we just need to just be aware of the structure. But you can see a nice 5-wave structure here, and we're looking for an ABC pattern coming into play. If you're long already, then you need to leave the stop out of the way for this. I mean, you may as well go for the larger trend here, because we're in, you know, we're going in, once this, we've got the blue third wave, green third wave, and then we're going to get, let's just say this comes down here a little bit, then we're going to get wave 1 here and wave 2 here moving up. So you really want to be in this for the longer haul. It's this leg here that you got to build in. So getting, you know, whatever. I mean, I just, if I don't have time to day trade anymore, but if I see it at the time, then I will build into it, and I just end up having a lot of, I don't put in a big lot. I just put in lots of small lots. So I could have 20 positions in there, but all small, very small, you know, each one sort of covering its cost the best I can. It's not a perfect world, but yeah, so we need to leave, if you're a trend trader, we need to leave, which is a different set of rules again. You just need to leave the stop out of the way, because we need to, if you've got positions in here, you'll need to navigate this wave 2 and this wave 2. Okay, so anyway, hopefully we'll pick that up tomorrow, and it'll just be in a better position tomorrow, hopefully. Now, the Nasdaq has got a slightly different count. If I just come back to this for a moment, let's just sort of compare the two a little bit. I'm still sort of mulling it over. So in this case here, we're looking at wave 4 here with wave 1 and 2 and going up for wave 3 here. So this one here doesn't count as nicely as the other ones. I mean, maybe I could go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for 1 and 2 here. Possible, but I've just been thinking about it a little bit more. So sort of looking at it, it just seems a little bit different. Never pull back. See, I mean, with the other ones, I could put it, if I just copy this, I mean, that's what it would look, basically what it would look like on, if I duplicated the count, you know, it would be something like that. But I just don't think that's the case with this one. I'll dull that out, and I'll just leave it there for the time being. It'll just give us something to compare to, which is sort of okay. It's, you know, we just got to kind of mull it over. But otherwise, I'd have to look at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. and possibly even like 1 and 2 further up as well. Not that one, maybe the hourly chart. Yeah, this will do. Just give me a second. Yeah, so 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here. I just don't know if I need to go 1 and 2 again. I'm having a little bit of difficulty because otherwise it would play out with wave 1 here and 2 here for that. But if I use this green, if we look at this as the green wave 1 and 2 here, then it should take us, the wave 3 should take us up to this area through here. So yeah, I mean, what I can say is we should be heading to 15,000. It's just how do I count it to the upside? So I'm still mulling that over a little bit. All ideas are welcome, of course. But yeah, so there's two ways we can look at this market. But either way, we're still heading higher. But that said, if we look at, this is a slightly different count. Here you can see that from the 14,000, we've got a nice support here. Well, we've had tested support. So, I mean, it's come back and tested it and made new highs. So that's good. So here we've got 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here. So we're going to see wave 5 come up here. And then we're going to see a little ABC pattern here, just to let you know. And it's quite important, this little space here, because you can go long on that B wave high here, but also to at 14,000, that's the main number. And then group 1, which would be 100, 1, 2, 3 here, that's all the group. Once we get support on top of group 1, that will send us to, if that gets triggered, that will take us to 5. So there will be a correction at the 5, you know the routine. So basically the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, some type of correction. It's not always a pretty picture, but sometimes it is. And then up again from that point. So you can also look to use that number to add on, because we would be heading to 8 at that point. But in terms of heading to 8, we will also look at group 2. So when we're talking about 8, we talk about group 2. So we can look at 650 here as the beginning of group 2. And then we've got 72 in here, which close enough there. Splash of red just to identify it. Just a design thing, nothing else. Yeah, so group 2 here. So yeah, that presents another situation. But between 14,000 and 15,000, we've got the Fibonacci numbers running as a price ratio of 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8 here, and they'll play out. And it's good to use the levels. They won't be valuable to you unless you draw the lines in and make them, just keep them nice and light and keep them in the background on the canvas, so to speak. It just draws your attention to the price much more, and then it helps a lot with Elliott. It's just simple support and resistance basically. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it helps a lot. It helps with the trade setups that we talk about a lot. You know, just gives a bit of a deeper understanding. All right, enough waffling. Let's check out the stock. So this is Alphabet on the daily chart. So we've got all of this here for wave 1 and 2 in here, and we're looking at where I needed to sort this out from yesterday, if you remember. So I've got two situations here. I've got from wave 2 here, intermediate degree, going up to wave 3 here, looking for 5 waves of 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave to make that 3rd and 4th. It does make the trend a little bit longer in terms to the other markets. The other count that we could use is we could go from wave 2 here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. and have this blue wave 3 sitting here and this blue wave 4 sitting here, I just find some of it works quite well, because this would be 1, 2, 3, 4 here. This is a nice fourth wave here. It's pretty complicated. But if I put this wave 3 here, then this wave 4 has got to go under here. It's just a little bit small for what I like. But in the meantime, I don't think that we have to solve this just yet, because we're working up to the 2,500, which is the medium level, which is always halfway between two major levels, the 2 and the 3 here. So 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, then 5,000. So from wave 4 here, moving up here, we've got a little 5-wave structure that we're moving up into. So as you know, when we get to a level, there's a few things that can happen. We can have the overshoot pattern here, which is I just sort of break it down to 3 patterns. So this is the overshoot, where it doesn't stop here and just goes above the level there, but then folds back. And then of course we've got the classic trading levels pattern, where we have the arrival and we have the reaction here. So if we have the reaction here, then we'll have that, and then the first high above the level, then the correction, and then this. So I think that's what we'll be getting at this one here. And the reason for that is because we've got this 5-wave structure moving up into this level here at the moment for this. So yeah, so I'll leave it at that. We're not going to trade. It's not a good idea to trade into a big number like that. You can do if you're very short-term trading, but obviously this is a nice trending stock. So really we want this, either the pullback here, or we'll pick it up on the level here for this. So I'll leave that at that. With Apple here, I haven't really resolved the wave count here yet, but I do like the idea of this market moving higher. For a couple of reasons, especially, I mean, it's a little bit difficult to see on this chart here, but we can see that this 130 here, which is the top of group 1 here, you can see how the market is really trying to find support on this level as it sort of snakes across here. So yeah, there's good potential for that to move up. It might be easier to see on a smaller time frame. Don't worry about any counts that I have here. And also maybe just getting this stochastics indicator up as well. You can kind of see it here a little bit better. Maybe even the monthly would be better. But the stochastics is in a good buying opportunity here. That's one thing. I'll just have a look at the monthly here. Yeah, the monthly's got you can see it a little bit better here. It's just, I mean, I can see it because I know what I'm looking for, but if you can't see it, you can kind of see this situation here with it, really, you know. So that's what I'm sort of thinking, is this sort of, continuing to move up from this point. But we need to kind of get it at the right time. So if I just come back to the daily chart here, we do have a little bit of a support on here, which I like. But this is a daily chart, but the stochastics is really high here as well. So if I go back to our original count that we've had on our tick chart, as we were looking at, this is the bearish pattern. Let me just bring in a little bit more data here. Is that going to be enough? No, we'll just bring in some more. So one of the things here that I'd mentioned before was off this low here. If I can just bring in a little bit more data. So yeah, from the high here, coming down into this low here, we had this move up here to here to here to here. So we've got this as an A and a B and a C here. So from the low, our first move up here, it could be wrong because it moved kind of gapped up here, I guess. So there could be 5 waves in here, but as far as I can see, we've got this move here as one wave, and then we've got this is a little 5-wave structure in here for this, and this is corrective, and this is corrective, and this is impulsive here. So we've got ourselves a an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave down here. But even that's not that important to me. What I think is important for us at this particular point in time is this trend here. So from the top here, and I don't even like spikes as tops either, so that's another little issue. I like to where the main traffic is. So this 61.8% could be a little bit different, but yeah, that's been our 50-60% retracement level area here. But if we just track this up here, because I originally had it as an A and a B and a C wave up here, okay, so based on that, I'd counted it up as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave, the fourth wave here, and then the fifth wave, which would be 1 and 2 and 3 here, and 4 here, a bit more fluffing around here to go, and then the fifth wave up here, which will come up around the 135 area. And then we should have a correction here. Now, I don't know, because we've got 5 waves at that point, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think we just, if you're long in this, trade to 135 and get out, okay? And then we'll just wait to see what this is going to give us here. If the market takes us past the 5 waves structure here by a little correction here and continues to move up, we'll get it at the 135, because in the bigger picture I can kind of see it moving higher, you know, but we need evidence for that. And this here would be this count that I've got here, I think, which is okay, 1, 2 here, and the 3, 4 and 5 here. We'll get some sort of correction here. So then we'll pick it up after this. Okay, we'll look at it here. But it'd be just best if this finishes off. So if you've been long in here somewhere, then 135 and exit, and then we'll take another look at it at the 135 level here. But yeah, just too many things around that just don't add up for this in a bullish way. But in the bigger picture, I can see it going higher. But I haven't got the evidence to back it up yet. So we'll just wait. I mean, all this up here could end up just being wave 1 here and back for wave 2 and then moving higher here. That's what we need to see for this market. So we'll just leave it at that for the time being. Now, Amazon is really kind of the same as Apple in a way, because this move that's moved down here, and then we've had this little ABC pattern that I mentioned before, that's also, if I just go back to Apple for 1 second and go to the daily chart here, I'll just reduce the data and go to the daily chart just to sort of compare, you know, apples with apples, so to speak. So this move down through here, and then we've got this little bump here. It's a little bit the same as this one here in a sort of an odd way. So we can kind of use that a little bit here. So yeah, I mean, if this market was going to fail, it would fail from this number here, the 3,500 area here. If it doesn't fail from here, then, and that means that it gains support on this level, then would move higher. So what we're looking for here at this level is a little classic trading levels pattern. So if that's the level here, then I think we've got the arrival. We'll check it on the intraday, but the arrival, the reaction, and the first high, I think we're in here somewhere with this. So we still need this side of it here and this side of it over here for that. So that's the setup that we're looking for. Here we can see that we've got the arrival, the reaction, and we're looking for the first high above the level. So I'll just move that a little bit higher here. It's not, we don't really need it just yet, but yeah, so what we want to see here is the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, which we've got a little bit. I'd like to see a bit more, but we still need to see it move back here as a corrective move here for this, and then up. So maybe Friday it will present itself in a better light, because this can be an A and a B and a C and finished here as well. So we just got to be a little bit careful here. So we want a nice solid support. I mean, Elliott wave is fantastic, but it's very difficult to, you know, you've got to be pretty good to just use Elliott wave alone. I've brought in the trading levels as an idea for support and resistance to strengthen the Elliott up. Not so much the Elliott, but the trade setups on that, because we just really use Elliott to understand trends and corrections to make sure that we're in the right direction of the trend that we're trading, basically. So yeah, we know that the 500 is the important point here. Like here, we would have gone through this thing here. We would have looked for the same pattern here. And we didn't get it. So we've had the first high above the level. It shot up high here. It came back. We could have gone long above the top, above this second high here, but it never occurred. So it just keeps us safe, you know, and that's what we'll need to do here as well. So we'll leave that at that for the time being. So with Facebook here, we talked about it yesterday, moving higher. I'm going to lift these up 1 degree of structure, I think. So, which I've done on the tick chart, I think. So we'll check on that. But yeah, I just, you know, we can see that this market's got further to move up. So we'll probably see this move up a little bit higher here and then come back and then continue to move up in this nature. So we're on the right track here for this. I just may need to turn this, well, I probably will, and I'll just copy that here. And I'll need to lift these up 1 degree of structure, I think, at this stage, which is okay. We'll get back into that a little bit later. But we'll just go to the tick chart and pick it up from this low here. Yeah, so I will do that. So 1 and 2 here we've been counting, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave. So the fourth wave here, and then the fifth wave here. So blue wave 1 here, not that it's a big deal anyway, but and then an ABC pattern here for this. This is a little bit tricky to work out. There may be one more little move here for this. This looks a little bit corrective. We may have already started the ABC correction. Depends on how I count this. If I count this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then extension in the fifth wave, well, then we'll have a high in place here. But if I count this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for 1 and 2 and the third wave here, which makes a little bit more sense, that could come down here further and have one more high in here and then come down for this. So it's going to be something like this here for that. Okay. So I think that Friday should be the, you know, late Thursday afternoon, Friday will be the one that we're looking for, and taking that B wave top out here is what we're also looking for as well in all of this. Or we could even buy the pullback. Yeah. So buy the dip, as they say. But yeah, we should just continue to move in with this. So yeah, that's looking okay at this stage for this. So yeah, nice trend for this market. So I'll just go back to the daily chart for 1 second or two, just to pull that apart a bit further. Yeah, so the next level here really is the 400. That's where we're sort of heading to. But within that, from 300 to 400, we've got the minor levels of 1, 2, and 3 that make up group 1. Then the midpoint here at 350. And then we've got the next here at 80. So 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. We can also put in the rest of group 2 here as well. So the halfway mark here at 50 is a, you know, that's where we're going to have the most, oh, not the most problem, because 8 will be profit taking here, but it should see some type of correction across the 50, which will also give us the opportunity to add another position in here as well for that. So we've got this one here with the stop under here. Yeah, so we can just keep continuing to build that. And that's, you know, it's all in line with our count with the indices, which is good. Okay, let's move on. And with Tesla here, so I can view this in 2 ways still, but wave 3 here with an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for wave 4, and it's completed. And if that's the case, then we would move up, making a new high to 1,000. The other count is that we look at this as wave A here, wave B here, and we look at this down here as wave 1 here, and then pulling back to wave 2 into this box here, the 50-60% retracement level from wave B to wave C here, around the 690-700 area. At the same time, we talked about going long with support on the 650, which is the medium level here. So we'll look at the tick chart, but the tick chart, I've got this in blue here, 1 degree smaller, which I'll need to update to the orange minor degree structure. So from the low here, I'll need to adjust this to wave 1 here. I can do that later, wave 2 there. But still wave 1 and 2 here, and then looking at this as 1 and 2 here, and then building up into a third wave here, which is looking quite good really, because if it was a wave 2 rally here, then this would be the A wave here, the B wave here, and the C wave over here. And the C wave would be on more of an angle. So when the market comes down here, we'd get the A wave, which is normally sharp, and then the B wave, and then the C wave on a bit more of an angle. But it's not the case here. We've got this move up through here. If I do this over here, we've got this move up here develop quite nicely as a structure here, you know. And then we're seeing wave 2 come in, and then we're seeing wave 3 with a bit more power in it here. That's what we're seeing here at the moment with this move coming up through here. So 1 and 2 here, 1 and 2 here, 1 and 2 here, 1, 2 here, all the third wave here, the fourth and the fifth wave still to come here. So this has definitely got higher here. This is the first little high above the level there that we talked about. So anyway, if you haven't got that, you can still go long. It doesn't matter. There's still plenty to go here. So this needs to go up here 4 and 5 for the third wave, and then there'll be the fourth wave, which will probably come in tomorrow in some way or another, and then continuing to push up into the 700 at that point. So that's where the 61.8% correction is at that point. But I can still see we've still got wave, you know, even if it was an ABC to the upside, we'll still need 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. So that's where wave 2 could be at that point, but that's much higher than the 61.8%. But let's just put that in all the same. So so wave 2 rally to that point, and I'll just dull that out so we know that it's an alternative count. But that's where that would be played out to at that point. So basically we're just starting to view Tesla as a possibility it can be completed at this point as a wave 4 from wave B down to wave C or 4 here, and moving to the upside. I mean, I'd always trade long, you know, once I get to a medium level and I see a setup there. I'd always trade long at that point. And but secondly, you know, even as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, we're only like that really powerful point in the trend just here. That's the halfway mark of this trend from this point here. That's the halfway mark. So if we flipped all that on its head back over this way, that would give us all of this up here. So I see it further up. So this is the point to go long at. Okay, so we're long on Tesla at the moment, but we do need to understand that there is a risk at this particular point in time. So just quickly with Square here, we've got wave 3 here with an A and a B and a C wave here finishing, and we're looking at this being bullish. There is risk here still, but we've got half a position. This taking that top out here gave us half a position on the long side, and we're going to look to add to that on the medium level here at 250, which the medium level is halfway between two major levels, and it's important here. So we'll see a bit of a dance there. I'll need to rearrange all of this on the tick chart, but we talked yesterday about going long based on a new high here. So moving above that there would send us bullish at that point. So we just got half a position there. It may be a bit of a struggle around this area through here, but we do have that nice classic trading levels support here, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. And this one is the variation of the classic trading levels pattern. So it's sat nice and square here. So most of the time it would come down through here and then move up, but normally we'd use that as a long position and then the second high here, so it doesn't make much difference. So that's what we're doing here. We could have gone long here as well, but we weren't sure about the actual structure, but it's looking nice and bullish now, and that will end up pushing up higher here. We can see 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 moving higher, and this is probably 1 and 2 here as well, so there'll be probably more here for this in that case, and we're going to be looking to add to this once we've got support there. But you could build in however you want, of course. And I'll readjust this wave count. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.